Alrighty, welcome back to the Prem Trifecta. We'll just go into start with the FA Cup to be fair, with Man U and Brighton. Ashton, if you want to share your thoughts.
Why'd you throw me under the bus right away, bro? Um, honestly, first, in my opinion, first 30 minutes, I felt like we should have been 2-0. At the very least 2-0. We could argue 3-0, but at the very least 2-0. Because my goodness, the chances that we got during the first 30 minutes was like, we thought we were about to, we thought we were at least about to score first. And then classic menu, right? Very first time we're on the defending side, we instantly conceded. And surprise, surprise, comes down our right hand side from Diogo Dallo, just standing there like the Statue of Liberty. As soon as the ball pass goes through, literally zero reaction, zero nothing. At that point, like there's not much, there's not much anyone can do to stop the goal because the run is that clear. So and it was a Martinez got a goal line clearance, and then rebound happened to just pop right in. So not much with that. In terms of how the overall game went, I felt like at least I would normally say when we're on the losing side or even when we're tied, it looks like that's when we're trying to fight for the 3 points. It's not like we're trying to fight for the 3 points right away, but I think those were one of the very few times in the entire season where it felt like we weren't even trying to fight for it at all. Even though we were 1-0 down, 2-0 down, it felt like we were. The performance was just so lifeless from everybody. Like none of the tactics were working. We were getting like officiating calls were going against us as well. Like it's not gonna be like I'm not gonna be like oh like obviously there's no such thing as oh they're against us whatever right, but it was just getting frustrating to the point where it's like it just looked like every small call that we should be winning we were not winning, got to our heads whatnot. Um, in terms of brilliant, in terms of like good performances, some players again, Sesko, I'm happy that he's keeping it up. Scored another goal, and honestly, at that point, I think it was the 85th minute goal if I remember correctly. At that point, I'm like, you know what, classic menu again. Like
Hmm.
just last minute, we're gonna do something to tie the game, bring it to overtime, or sorry, extra time. But then Shea Lacey got a red card. At that point, I'm like, yep, it's game over. And he is very young. Obviously, everyone's gonna give him that leeway. As long as he learns from those mistakes. But
For sure.
once again, I wouldn't say that cost us the game. I would just say at that point the hope is lost. But I wouldn't say that cost us the game in any way. To
Yeah,
be
I
honest.
think well, I guess we can speak about the Burnley game in tandem with the thing game cuz I feel like probably you're disappointed for with both, right? But I think yeah, if
Obvious.
we're talking about standout players for both games, Sesko is definitely one. I mean, honestly, he didn't really do good in that Brighton game from what I watched, but he scored the goal to like bring you guys back into it, give you guys at least like 10 minutes of hope before the red card. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Is there anything you want to talk about from that Prem game?
The PAM game, yeah, 100%. Oh, well, Harshan, did you watch that pickup game? What do you think?
I honestly didn't watch it, but all
Oh,
I gotta
oh.
say is Man U out early in the cup again.
Both cups, by the way. This is
Dude,
this is
both cups I know. It was first
this
round.
is this is 40. I don't know the last time an
No,
elite
no,
club has
it
only
was
played
40 games I know.
40 games in the Prem. Brother, we're probably already close to 40 games played across the whole season, and you're gonna play 40 games at the
Yeah,
end of
because we're
May.
only in the prem and we got knocked out right away. But dude, as soon as I saw the draw for the FA Cup and I saw Brighton, I'm like, yo, there is definitely another chance we could go out here. Like I wasn't even trolling. I'm like, even if you have a fully fit squad, whatnot, there is still a chance we can go out here.
Uh,
So honestly, I as soon as I saw the draw, I've already accepted that fate of that possibility happening. So at this point, it really doesn't have that big of an impact. Of like I already had that expectation, right? So it is what it is. At this point, we should be doing our entire best to be fighting for European, considering that everyone else who's fighting for European has European already. They're playing more games or they're still in some kind of cup. So there should be lower excuses for us unless we once again get like a some kind of injury wave kind of thing. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But
yeah.
from the Brighton game, we can see that our formation now we're not playing five at the back. We're playing a 4-2-3-1. Um, I think Bruno back in that back in the attacking midfielder position. I think that we could see a lot of potential between him and Sesko. You could see a lot of the times where Sesko is making runs that Bruno's not seeing, or Bruno has a vision that Sesko's just not reading properly. You can see every single time the ball goes out, he's talking to him. He's like, make these kind of runs, make these overlapping runs. And with Sesko, he's always great with those overlapping runs, but it's just his final product of finishing that's been the main concern. But we saw what he could do. Two of those finishes, they weren't even like a simple tap in or whatnot. They were actually like very good finishes, amazing runs and such. So I'm hoping that that partnership between Bruno and Sesko will continue going forward. Dorgu, once again on the wing, he did really good. He kind of got nerfed playing left back during the FA Cup because Luke Shaw, we wanted to load manage him, just make sure that he didn't get injured again. So that kind of took him out of the FA Cup. It took away his abilities a little bit, but in the Burnley game, we saw once again he did amazing. If I was to sum up that Burnley game in one word, I would say unlucky. If you gave me two words, I would say extremely unlucky. Because the only two attacks that Burnley got, they scored both of them. And the first one was once again Dowler doing the same thing where like he's just frozen, just standing still, and the ball's played through. Aiden Heaven just gets an unlucky deflection and goes in. Second goal once again. That's the first time we see them actually step it up in the game, and then they scored once again, and it was actually like a beautiful goal. So
Yeah.
nothing to complain about there. It was a very unlucky game. I think we had a brilliant performance. Stats completely show it as well, but no point in looking at stats if you're not getting those 3 points. So once again, same issues. Performance is good. It's just you gotta actually try and secure the 3 points.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
No, it's
Yeah, man.
it's almost always shit. Very rarely good. But we'll need
Yeah,
good. We'll
yeah.
need good
No,
this
no, no.
Saturday, man. We'll need good this Saturday. I pray.
Oh yeah.
No,
We pray,
okay, no,
we
no.
pray,
One
we
thing,
pray.
one thing I'm genuinely the shift from Man United comparing last season and this season is that at least this season I'm actually watching some like enjoyable football. Last season was atrocious. Like it's like halfway through the game I'm like, yo, do I want to watch this? Like this feels like a punishment, right? But now I'm actually enjoying the football we play. Obviously, at times it's going to be atrocious. It happens to every team. Um, but yeah, I'd say comparing last season, it's way better. But at least we're putting up at least a good 45 minutes of performances. The half depends always, but yeah, I'm just hoping now we can actually focus on locking the 3 points rather than the 1 or 0 points.
Okay.
We'll
That's
see. We'll see. We'll come back to that on after Saturday, after City.
Yeah, I was just about to say because we have to give I guess your next game is
The derby.
City at the OT. So what's
Old
the
Trafford.
preview? And but you have a lot of your players like you have Diallo back, you have Mbeumo back. They should
Mbeumo
both
back.
Yeah.
be able to play because it's been over a week since they've got eliminated. So even with travel time, rest, training, whatever, they should have time. Carrick / Ollie, probably Carrick should be in by then.
I think Carrick will be in.
Yeah,
by
I've
then,
heard
for
it's
sure.
Carrick. So okay, Carrick
Michael
should be
Carrick
in
will
by
be in.
then.
Michael
Yeah, so-
Carrick, yeah.
Mhm.
Carrick should be in, and he's had like last time he came in for interim, he was okay for those few weeks. Like he did okay. So what's your feeling going into the derby, man? I'm hoping, brother. I hope you know. Me and you, we're on the same side, brother. That day you guys play at 7:30, we play at 12:30. We're on the same side, bro.
Honestly, at Etihad we got absolutely destroyed. I think that was one of the last games we had with Altai. So honestly, any game we had Altai for, that's like a blur in my head, because like that any goals will be a part of his mistake. Um, but honestly, with this form that they're in versus the form that we're in, I think it will be much closer than people expect it to be, in my opinion. But once again, I'm probably going for like a draw, like maybe a 1-1 or 2-2. In my opinion, I'm probably gonna
We
go 1-1.
pray. We take those. We take those. I'll take that any day of the week.
You'll take
honestly,
anything, bro. You guys gotta
honestly,
win
if I were
too.
to chip in two,
Of course.
honestly, if I were to chip in two, I was gonna go with the draw as well. As much as I want City to win, like I think Man U
enough.
could pull something out.
I think
Yo, we're just draw merchants at this point, man.
I mean, also at the same time, yeah, they're draw merchants too. 3 draws in a row for both of you guys. But also at the same time, like they haven't beat Man U at OT. I don't know the last time they beat him at OT. Last season they didn't. The season before that they didn't. I genuinely don't know the last time they went to OT and won. Right? And they've already had like a fishy record against United. Like yeah, like they had the 3-0 this season. They did a 6-1 not so long ago, but or 6-3 or whatever. But over the past, let's say, 5 years, it's not like the record against United is the best, right? It's not like the North London derby where it's just belt to ass. It is actually competitive. So I don't
Yeah.
expect.
100% too, but yo, the thing at least is that the Old Trafford environment, I swear, has been more dead this season than last season, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but this is no, but
But
this is
this is where it gets real. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
before,
yeah,
it's like Old Trafford is like, yo, people gotta worry, but now people come with confidence. Other teams come with confidence, but when it comes to a derby, it's always a different. Like no, it's no longer just a competition. It's more than that, right?
yeah.
So
And
I think
also it's like I feel like the environment's like a mix of the confusion with the owners, the Amarim stuff. But now that Amarim's gone, you guys have like now there's like something new to hope on, to attach yourself to, something new to hope for, right? So I feel like we pray, Bruno masterclass, Embuemo, Diallo, like
I'm
brother.
honestly just happy to get my players back, bro. I've been complaining so much. I'm like, yo, please give me these guys back. And
Also, yeah.
yeah, go on.
Also, to fact check, City haven't beaten United at Old Trafford since the 23-24 season.
Yeah,
I was
22
gonna say, yeah,
24.
that's the season. That's the last season they won. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna
and
say,
even
I think
23 24, what was it? Was it like a close, or was it like
It,
no, I'm pretty sure it was pretty bad. I think I remember it being
it,
pretty
it
bad.
was it was 3-0. It was 3-0.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I remember Foden had a masterclass that game,
Well, either
but
way,
that's
either way, like they're not on the hottest of form. They signed Semenyo, who is on hot form, but generally they're not on hot form. They have problems with their team that have been exposed in the past few weeks. Obviously, Semenyo is gonna help with that focus on all out attack. So we'll see what happens, but
all I'm
I
saying
think
is
a
that
draw could happen. A draw could
draw
happen.
could happen, but also considering that both their main center backs are out and Gehi, those talks still haven't been anywhere close to even being done.
He's not
I
going to
think
City in Jan.
I don't know if he's going to City or not, but even though those talks were still a thing, I don't think they've gone anywhere with it, right? I think it's just been rumors. So, in my opinion, like I think, like I said, the Bruno Sesko partnership. I hope whoever is playing that center defense, they will be troubled.
I
So
It's
think
probably gonna be like Kusanov, and then like
it's
it's
it
going to
might
be
be
Kusanov and Ake. I'm pretty sure making
no,
that.
it's
yeah, it's
gonna
gonna be
be no. I
Kusanov.
don't think so. I think it depends because O'Reilly. I think it might be Kusanov and Ake, but you never know because I think Ake's been a little sus in terms of fitness as well.
He has been a little sus.
So there's that young guy that they brought back from Watford that might play because he played for them last game. O'Reilly is you're catching them at a really good time because their center backs are injured. Their fullbacks that are starting are both on weird form. Like you can tell they're leggy, they're a little tired, and yeah, they got rested in the FA Cup because they played Exeter at home. But still, you can tell they've been leggy. Like this is a low key. A good time to play them at OT, especially you're getting all your players back, and that is why I'm a little scared because when things are good for United in terms of good timing, whatever, it never goes well. So I am low key a little bit scared, but we
No,
pray,
that's
man,
hundred
we
percent true.
pray,
Yeah,
we
yeah, hundred
pray.
percent true.
I mean, we might as
Fair
well
enough.
move. We might as well move on to. You want to move on to my game first, and then we'll go to Chelsea to review, and then we'll talk about the clash.
I think we should
we'll
maybe
talk
talk
about
about. You guys should. I think your FA Cups are very simple. Maybe just go over quickly and then give us
Yeah, yeah,
your.
yeah, for sure. I was
We can
yeah.
honestly, I was gonna focus on like okay, like I was gonna focus on like my thing is gonna be like 3 minutes. I think against Liverpool, first half we were good. Especially that first 25, I really thought like this felt like the game felt like Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup, right? Where first half, I felt like we were the better team. We created chances. I feel like we should have scored at least one, if not more. And then the second half, we just like seemed to lack energy, seemed lethargic, just seemed like I don't know, seemed like we were just done with it for some reason. Um, and yeah, and then Liverpool took over the second half, and honestly, they were the better team the second half. So I think the result was fair, 0-0, like or 1-1. Or what was it? 0-0? Was it 0-0?
It was no.
Okay, yeah,
It was
0-0.
0-0.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
scored.
yeah, exactly. So it was. I think it's the fairest result. Like they had in the first half, we had some good chances, but nothing like extraordinary. Like, yeah, we could have scored and we could have done better in certain situations, but we didn't. Whatever it is, what it is. With them, they had a lot of threatening counters, but they had none of their attackers fit. So like they were never really going to score. They never really did anything with the ball possession that they had, but they did dominate. They controlled the second half, whereas we were the much better team in the first half. First half, I thought Saka, Saliba, Rice was like really good, but the one thing that made me feel a little awkward about the game was I thought Odegaard was poor. And in the second half, I felt like Saka, Saliba, not Saliba, but Saka and Rice definitely dipped a little bit. And that's when you need the other players, Odegaard and Zubamendi and that type of stuff, and Trossard, etc., to step it up, and they just didn't, right? So it is what it is. Like, I honestly, that was probably one of our worst performances of the season if you look at it like all around. I put that up there in terms of like, especially that second 45, that goes up there with like our worst performance of the season. And we drew to, the current technically reigning champions. Obviously they weren't at full strength, but this is still a really good team just by player quality alone. Obviously their forward line was deprived, and you saw that in the game, because if they had their forward line fit, they could have won, honestly.
I'd say even give Ekitike in there. I think we could have seen a different outcome, to be honest.
I mean, honestly, last time Ekitike played against us, even when they were on good form, he got pocketed. So like, people
he did
say
get
that,
pocketed,
but
I think like but I think recently he's been in like I'm saying like right before he got injured, he's been scoring I think consecutively like 3-4
yeah,
games.
but remember
So you
Ekitike
never
started.
know. He was also in the beginning as well.
Exactly, and also
Yeah.
also like the thing, what made them start to gain control was like what they did first half. It was Gakpo more as the 9, Verts off the left. Then second half, or maybe as the game went on, maybe I didn't notice in the first half, but in the second half for sure, Verts went to false 9 and Gakpo was off the left. That's when they started to control the game. Ekitike, that doesn't happen, right? Ekitike, it would be Ekitike and Verts, or Ekitike and Gakpo. They're not gonna swap them, right? So I think it is a different game with Ekitike, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how much I rate that statement, to be fair. I feel like Ekitike does play off the left.
He
Somehow.
plays off the left, but it's not the same as a false 9 dropping into midfield, right? Like, he drifts to the left.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He drifts to the left, right? But and so that means that someone can drift into the center area and like be associative with
It's
him.
just a positioning thing. It's not even like a. It's not even like a. It's like his positioning as a striker. I won't even
That's
say
what I
it's
mean,
like a.
but that's my point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's my point. It's not like a
Yeah,
Ekitike thing. It's just like if they played a 9, I'm not sure that that second half goes as well for them, because the thing was Virtus was dropping deep and causing us a lot of problems, overloading the midfield, and because our midfielders weren't playing good, because Gyökeres is fucking non-existent, right? Usually we'll do the same thing. Havertz will drop in, Marino will drop in, Jesus will drop in, cause an overload, right? And because our midfielders are so good, right? Even if you do have a 4v4 in midfield, we'll probably win that battle, right? But recently, obviously, with Gyökeres, we're sacrificing, we're trusting our 3 midfielders to do well enough in the midfield battle, while Gyökeres is, occupying space and creating more space by, occupying the center backs, whatever. But because he's been so bad, what happened is that they put Konate specifically on. They basically did a man marking on Gyökeres. Usually there's 2 center backs on him, he occupies 2. This time, because Konate and Van Dijk are good in their duels, they put Konate on him and they kind of just let Van Dijk do whatever. Or they would put Van Dijk on him and let Konate do whatever. Whether that means, pinching a little bit more, or whether that means he would, like, the other would sweep up. It was damn near like one of their center backs was completely vacant, so Gyökeres was useless, right? Is the point in that?
I think that honestly goes to say a lot too, because speaking of Konate this season, he hasn't been the best, right? And the fact that I think they just kind of trusted Konate to be on Gyökeres alone, I think for me at least, like that kind of says that Gyökeres, he's not as much of a threat as people say. He's like, obviously he's scored the most goals and everything last season, but we're just still yet to see that bridge of, okay, he can actually do something with the ball, right? It's like whenever you see him get the ball, he carries it forward, but he never really attacks on goal anymore. Like he normally kind of waits for backup, plays the back, has his link up plays. So I think he needs to start just being a little bit more confident, trying to take on the goal more, in my opinion.
Brother, I think there's so many. I feel like, brother, I could have an hour-long segment on why that guy's a bum. Like, there's
I think,
genuinely.
You know what I think the solution is?
I can have wait.
You know what I
Pause.
think?
Kai Havertz is the solution.
But
Kai Havertz is the
Kai Havertz
solution.
on this solution.
Kai Havertz is the solution. We'll talk about that in the FA Cup game, right? just relax.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
brother, I could give you an hour-long segment as to why Gyökeres hasn't worked, why he won't work, why I don't think he will work, why I think we need to get rid of that guy ASAP. Right? There's no point in doing that though, brother. We know this guy's a bum. Right? Let's just move on. Like, I have no like. It is what it is. I knew he was gonna be a. Well, I didn't know he was gonna be this bad. But I didn't think he would be our best choice even when he
Shocking.
came in. But
Yeah.
whatever, it is what it is. In terms of the FA Cup game, just to sum that up real quick, Martinelli got a lot of scrutiny because of, I don't even want to talk about it, some nonsense, like, you know what I mean? It's just like things that happen on the pitch, it happens on the pitch. It is what it is. Like, he definitely didn't know that Bradley was going to be injured. Like, seriously injured. He thought he was just wasting time. He tries to push him off. Whatever. It is what it is, right? Like, it happens. He apologized after. Okay, it is what it is. You could tell. It's like Martinelli's not that type of guy. He's not like a Gary Neville or like Jamie Carragher where he's actually trying to be a scumbag. He genuinely just like thought he was wasting time and just wanted to get on with it. Especially we were getting frustrated.
Yeah,
whatever.
even
But-
even Arne gave him the.
Yeah,
He-
of
he
course,
became the
everyone
down
did, right?
after.
Sabozlai
Yeah,
did, I think, like
everyone
everyone
did, yeah.
did, because everyone's
Yeah,
like, bro,
of
come on,
course,
like,
yeah.
there's no, like, this isn't, come on, right? This isn't like a dirty player.
Because it was just because like it was such a sus way to fall down. Like I think in any player, like anyone watching the game would even be like,
Yeah, I
Okay,
thought he
this
was
looks
time
kinda bad,
wasting
right?
for sure. No, I thought he was
I
time
thought-
wasting.
I
thought he was
thought
time
he
wasting.
was something bad because I'm like, that's so sus for him to just go down like that.
No, I thought he was time wasting until I saw the replay, and I was like, oh damn, that looked weird, right? But
Yeah,
anyway, that's beside the point. Martinelli, good response, got his hat trick. I think the two other big talking points is Kai came back. Kai had 30 minutes maybe. He looked good, but like, bro, it's the same thing with Jesus. What we done with Jesus, where we'll give him appearances off the bench here and there, and we'll start him in the cup games. I think that's the plan with Kai for the next few weeks, is do the same type of load management that we've done with Jesus. I think Jesus now is in the position where he'll start more important games, like the Prem games, maybe the Carabao Cup games, for example. I think Jesus is in that, like, starting to get to that fitness where we can start actually playing him and relying on him, which is good because, brother, I want this guy. I don't even care how bad Jesus is. You can miss 30 chances in a game. At least you'll get the chances. You know what I mean? Like, at least, right? But this, whatever. It is what it is. I think the only other big talking point, I mean, I guess two is similar, is Noneri and Eze as the 10s. I mean, we've seen it before. Nothing special. I think, I guess I'm a whole midfield because Moreno was playing as a 6. He played really well. Eze, disappointed with him, but it is what it is. Like, I kind of, you saw a lot with Pep players. Like, it usually takes them 6 months at least to a year, 6 months to a year to like understand what Pep wants. I expect the same thing, the same type of vibe with Eze, to be honest. I expected it. I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but I was expecting that, and that's kind of the leeway I'm giving him. And still, he's had so many key moments for us in terms of just winning us points, draw against City, against Bayern, I think it was, whatever. He's had Spurs, obviously, the hat trick. He's had so many key moments for us that, like, yo, brother, like, I don't mind this guy, getting less minutes, whatever. But I do still want to see him start to play well eventually in the coming weeks. But it is what it is. We're giving him time. It's fine, right? Like, I don't see any problem with that. And then the other side of the coin, Neri, he's not got as much game time, and I've always felt that's a physicality reason, because we used to play him on the right wing last season, but it came out that early in the season that they don't see Noneri as a right winger at all. Like, Arteta sees that as something that will halt his development, which is probably why you saw the Madueke signing as a backup right winger and probably a project left winger, because we don't see Noneri as a right winger, a right wing option as much, unless, like, crazy injuries happen, just because they think that in terms of development, it would be better for him to develop as the 10. So he hasn't got as much game time because we've had so many, we have so many players that can kind of play in that position. You obviously have Eze, you have Moreno, you have Odegaard, etc., etc. Now, if Kai's back, you have Kai. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of players that can play that position that kind of deserve the game time more. But Noneri was, first off, you can see that he's physically, I feel like he's grown a little bit. He's 18, so it makes sense. And then also he's physically bulked a little bit. And you could tell he's better in his duels. He's better at the simple stuff that Arteta demands, off the ball and that type of stuff. So I feel like we're going to see him start to get more game time in the second half of the season. And, brother, this is like I would say, like, this is a supreme talent, right? Like, this is one of those talents that, yeah, if he starts to get more game time and starts to get a rhythm, brother, that's a threat, right? That's a threat for the rest of the league. So we'll see, man. I'm happy about that. Obviously, the Eze thing I'm not so happy about, but like I said, give him time. On to Chelsea,
Fair
man.
enough. Yep, we'll move on. We'll talk about the bad before we talk about the good.
Sure.
Fulham.
Oh, yeah.
Fulham, obviously Cucurella red card. But if there's one thing in that game that really, really pissed me off, was when Chelsea scored the goal, the equalizer. I was looking at the lap and I was like, oh, yo, like grab the ball, bring it back to the halfway line, get the game started up again, and try to go for a second goal, right? He looks like he's gonna go grab it, and then he goes start celebrating like to the fans, and the rest of the team goes and starts celebrating to the fans. You know, hugs, kisses, like wasting time, like doing all this shit, even though you just drawn the game, you haven't won the game at all, right? And like whatnot, and like 3 or 4 minutes go by, these guys are still celebrating, like whatever, like. The Cucurella red card is one thing, and that like pisses me off too. But like that whole just like you score the equalizer, you don't go for the win, you just freaking go and celebrate as if you've done some like next shit like as a team instead of you going back, getting the game started and trying to get a winner. You know, low key, it rubs me the wrong way. I don't like it at all. You know.
Honestly,
I
I'm
feel
gonna
you.
be real. I don't care. I wouldn't care.
No, I get where you're coming from. I think it's more so is because of what position your club's in right now. I think that's supposed to maybe make it worse. But like on a real note, any other game, I'd say if you guys saw Maresca, all that and all this, and everything was solved, I think you guys would celebrate that regardless. So
I mean,
Yeah, but
I don't like I just don't like the celebration police thing. Like, I don't really care. Like, obviously, like, yo, like, I understand the trolling about it a little bit, but like when it becomes more than trolling, it becomes a genuine opinion. I don't agree with that. Like, if it's your own team, then sure, whatever, right? Like, I understand like from your perspective, like you're seriously upset about that because you wanted your team to win.
yeah,
But for me,
yeah,
I'm
like,
not
I
gonna
don't
like
know, yeah.
I might troll you about the fact that your team celebrated. But like if I'm being serious, I don't care. Like I understand, like a 1-1, an equalizer when you're, what is it, 1-1, 2-2? I don't even remember. But whatever, an
2-1 finish,
equalizer.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. But an equalizer when you're down to 10 man, tough time in recent history type thing. Whatever. Like I don't care.
but I mean, what did you think about the red card though? Did you not like?
Oh no,
That's a
it's
red.
At this point,
stupid.
I like. No,
Stupid.
100% stupid red. But I'm saying like you guys have seen many red cards this season. Like,
They're used to
It,
it.
it, it
are,
go,
are you
like,
are you like
London
Croats
is
right now,
red
or
in
what?
more ways than one, bro.
Alright, we'll win a trophy first, my guy. But okay, alright, okay. But here, this like the thing that I'd say about the red card is like it sticks with a lot of the season, to be honest. But discipline, just discipline with the players. Um, we've seen it so many times with just these stupid plays, the ability to lose head, like whatever. I get like, obviously, like I'm not gonna like it is bad to be honest. I want to see what like Liam does once he's in and see if any of that changes. But it's a big problem that doesn't need to be addressed. And to be honest, for like it's different if a young player does it, but if one of your more experienced players gets involved in these disciplinary issues as well, it's like something that's like pretty bad in my opinion. It's a sign that the team like is not in the right spot, rightfully, like so. But hopefully, new manager comes in, steady ship, and we get better results. But at the same time, too, it can always turn around and go over bad, right? So we'll see how it goes.
Got
You never
anything?
know. I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Like I'm gonna back like Senior to do like to fix these problems until like I see results that say like, oh, he doesn't. Like I'm not gonna rule him off without seeing
Yeah, fair
like
enough.
what he could do.
You can't let the trolls get to
Obviously.
you right away. You gotta have some
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
kind of evidence
exactly.
to,
And I still feel like what, like I still feel like he is a good coach, right? But like I'm not gonna critique him until I see what he
Yeah.
like for example what he does. I wouldn't even say like what he does against Arsenal because that's a different thing. Like I'm gonna wait until like Brentford and like those types of games where it's like I'd say fair ground to judge him in. You know what I mean?
What about the FA Cup?
Oh yeah,
Anything-
the FA Cup.
Who do you guys play next for the FA Cup?
Oh yeah,
We play
I forgot about that
I think
completely.
we play Hull. We play Rosinia's old team.
Oh, we play Wigan, so that should be both of
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Should be
FA
welcome.
Cup, obviously like it's against Charlton, so like everything you take with a grain of salt. But the one thing I do want to comment on is like the tactical switches from Rossinier. I really do like so far. That was his first game in charge, and I feel like although a lot of the system was built off Maresca, it wasn't like obviously if you're a new manager coming in, you're not going to go and like change the whole system immediately, especially when it's in the middle of the season, right?
Yeah.
But the things that he did change, I really did like. And like I'd say the two primary changes that I really liked out of Senior was the two double pivots would operate closer in a sense to center backs. And so what that allows is like, for example, the number 10 would have much more space if the ball gets played up to them, or like if the pivot is able to like dribble out of the press, they're able to like bring the ball up, which I thought was really cool. And the second thing, which is like I feel like is more crucial and like what I really wanted to see Maresca do, but I just never saw him do against these like teams who play like low block is like overlap. Which is kind of bad to say, but like overlap is like,
Yeah.
like we don't have any overlap in our teams. So like to see it for once against like I don't know, just seeing it after a while it feels good in a sense. I
Yeah,
know
but
it's
for
only
that, you guys
Charlton,
also
but like
need to have like very fit fullbacks too.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, of
facts.
course that's true.
You have to have very fit build. Like it's not easy always making those overlapping runs and having to recover back. Someone like Reece James, I don't know if you can kind of keep that up, So I
Except
think he's gonna have
except
to find solutions.
except this wasn't done with our fullbacks. This was done with our wide center backs, which is kind of weird. Like you see the double pivot drop back, and you see like let's say, Badiashile would be positioned more higher up. He wouldn't overlap, but he'd be positioned more up. Josh is obviously like a right back, so seeing him overlap like is kind of natural. What I expect to see like obviously like with Reece James, energy concerns and whatnot, I don't expect him to see him overlap. But like in future, I feel like it's a good sign for like players like Gusto, who like are like heavy overlap players. They're very dependent on it. They play the best seasons when they're able to attack, or like Joro Hato as well. So yeah, we'll see. Reece James, I really see him like kind of playing as like kind of in the box that we saw Senior playing, either as in the double pivot or
Yeah.
I wouldn't say in top two, but like in double pivot, I would say he'd play in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. It's cool.
What do you-
It's good to see these
Okay.
changes.
So your next game, us, Carabao Cup at home, no Caicedo. Are you missing anyone
No
else?
Caicedo. Just Caicedo. Well,
This guy's saying
Lavia, but like Lavia's always
Okay,
missing.
but
But like,
come on, like we're not cutting
We're talking about real players, bro. We're not talking about
Yeah,
ghosts.
yeah. We're talking about like
There
potential
you go.
starting squad.
there you go.
Come on, like, let's just lock in.
Lavia will show up when we play Liverpool, and then
Yeah.
he'll disappear for the rest of the season.
That is literally
yeah.
what he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I want to see him on the pitch, but unfortunate. But
What are your guys' predictions on?
Let's get into a breakdown more first before I give a prediction for
Mhm.
What
it.
do you guys? Yeah. Go through your starting lineup and all that.
like prediction starting line.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I'm saying we'll play Sanchez in goal. Reese right back. Center backs will be Fafana and Chalaba. Cucurella left back. I'm saying, Cucurella left back. I would say Santos, Enzo double pivot. Palmer, number 10. Estevao right wing, Neto left wing, and I would say the lap striker. I think that's what's gonna happen. What could also happen could be like Gusto plays right back, Reece James in double pivot, and then Cole Palmer's on the right wing. But
Yeah, fair
We'll see.
enough. I think for us, first of all, I'm very torn between what's like. If I'm being honest, I think Forest is probably a bigger game. Not even like, not in terms of like in terms of in terms of competition ranking. Like, look, especially because you guys don't have no Caicedo, especially because it's away. That means I want to go with the stronger team. But if it was at home, I would probably go with the weaker team. And when it is at home, assuming we get a good result at Stamford Bridge, I would want to rotate a little bit because we can, firstly, but secondly, because we need to keep fitness, but also to keep our priorities straight, right? Like the Prem is the priority. Forest away is not going to be the easiest game. That is a weird game that like in years gone by we would have dropped points in. So that is something that I definitely want to be careful of. But for us, um, I want to win this competition, right? Like I want to win the FA Cup, like I want to win the Champions League, like I want to win the Prem, right? I want to win all these cups. So, um, and that's what we need to do. So, and we're 3 games away from it. So, it's time to take it seriously. I think for us, with in goal, it might be between Kepa and Raya. I don't really care. Honestly, I'd rather have Raya because Kepa made a mistake at the weekend to concede, but also you know, Kepa is just not as good, but I wouldn't mind him starting because, if he's a Carabao Cup plus FA Cup keeper, fares. Um, but yeah, for me, I would say Rhea. I think we're gonna switch up our back line, so I think it'll be Ben White right back, Saliba, Gabriel, and then Timber left back. Because at least that's what I hope to see. Because brother, MLS has just he's been off it this season.
He's been a little sus.
Yeah,
He's had good
unfortunately.
games. I'm gonna be real. He's had good games, but yeah, he's dipped, and it's only fair. Like he just looks slower. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about him.
You
It
can't
doesn't-
you can't blame him either because he has been given a lack of game time, right? Like
I mean,
I
no.
think it's a lack
he
of
actually,
game time,
I
to
think
be
I,
honest.
just,
I would
I
give him
think
the benefit of that doubt, right?
I think the game time thing is overhyped because if you looked at it like before Hincapi started playing left back after Kala got injured, it was really Kala and MLS were doing like a 60-40 split in terms of minutes, right? In the Prem, Kala would start, but in every other competition, MLS would start almost always, right? Even in the big games, Bayern, for example, like MLS was starting in all these games. So it was a 60-40 split until Kala got injured. Then Hincapi started playing left, and Gabriel came back. Then Hincapi started playing left back. So yeah, maybe MLS in recent weeks has gotten less minutes, but now Hincapi's injured, so it is what it is. But I don't even attribute it to that. Like I think he looks slower. He looks like he just looks heavier. Like I was said, Noneri looks taller. He looks bigger, but in a good way. It's like the opposite for MLS. He looks slower. He looks bulkier, and just like I think there's a physical adjustment that's going on with him too. You gotta remember these guys are 18, 19, and clearly they're being developed for their long term positions while playing short term roles in the team because that's just what Arteta does. He did it with Martinelli. He's done it with ESR, with Saka. Like he's done it with every one of our young players ever since he's come in. So even with Eddie. So yeah, um that's kind of why I see him, kind of dipping a little bit. I think he's learning multiple positions. Like I think he's learning the midfield position while having to play at left back just for minutes. So it's making, it's awkward, right? But it is what it is. I think Timber will play left back because White got subbed off early in that FA Cup game, which kind of gave me the impression that I think he might play against Chelsea. Also because I kind of want that. I do not want MLS playing against Palmer or Estevao. Whoever it is, they're both a threat. Unless it's Neto or Garnacho, yeah, then that's we'll take that.
I don't think
I
Garnacho's
don't
gonna
think
play this
so. I
game.
don't think. I don't
Yeah.
think. I think he's saying.
I don't think
Yeah.
Garnacho's playing this game.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But let's just say, like, then okay, fine, sure, MLS left back, I'm cool with that. But Estevao or Palmer, like, nah, I'd rather have Timber at left back, who would actually match up perfectly against both of them because you guys would be cutting in with both. But either way, that's what I want for midfield. This is where I'd be okay with more rotation. So I'd be okay with Zubi Rice, Odegaard, Zubi Rice, as is even Zubi Rice, Noneri, as long as the pivot's playing, even if it's Zubi Moreno or Rice Moreno, as long as one of the two of the pivots playing, I'm happy. Preferably 2 of 3 starters play, but we'll see. I think he might go for all 3. Honestly, I think he might go Rice, Zubi, Odegaard, but I would go with Rice, Zubi, Noneri because he got subbed off early too. Right wing Bakayo, left wing Martinelli, striker Jesus. Reason for that is Saka. Jesus because I want him to. Obviously, it's back-to-back games, so it is a little sus. But I want to do the same thing: play him for 60, sub him off Havertz for 30. Um, because I want Jesus to start taking over that role and start taking over the minutes as our starting striker. Because brother, I cannot stand that guy Gyökeres for much longer. And then left wing, I think Trossard. People haven't been talking. People haven't been talking about it. But all right. But people haven't been talking about it for the left wing, but Trossard has kind of dipped in form past few games, and Martinelli has, he got a hat trick, so I feel like you reward that. Trossard didn't have a good game against Liverpool. I think he didn't have a good game against whoever we played before that as well. I can't remember who it was. And Martinelli just got a hat trick, so I think you reward that. Start him. Also, I think Jesus with Martinelli, there's the 22-23 Jogo Bonito there that just I don't know why, but it works, and they have just good chemistry. I think it's because Jesus drifts to the left and Martinelli drifts inwards, which is good for both players. So that's what I would do. But yeah, I expect it to be basically our damn near starting team, just White at right back, Timber at left back. But I would maybe change it up a little bit, like 3-4 players. I think Gyökeres will start too, but I don't want him to.
Actually, oh, sorry, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Now that I think about it, I think what might happen is Gusto's gonna start at right back, Reese is gonna be double pivot, and then
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think there's no way.
yeah,
There's no way you guys are gonna play Reese at right back versus
I don't think so.
Trossard or Martinelli. It would be a problem for him physically rather than defensively. Also, on top of that, Reese did so well on the double pivot last time, so I don't know why you would want to change it. And then on top of that, without Caicedo, brother, our midfield is physical as hell. Whoever
Yeah,
we
that's
play.
what I'm saying. It would wipe. I'm very scared if it's like
it's-
an Enzo Palmer, those two in the midfield. I'm low-key
Yeah.
very scared.
I mean, it could go well, right? It could go well. It could be like the the Pedri Ferran thing, where the technical quality, like like you saw Barca's midfield versus Newcastle's. Eventually,
Yeah.
Barca's midfield started, but the differences between our midfield and Newcastle's is, brother, we actually have real tech. We have real tech.
Yeah,
in there.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And they do too, technically, to be fair. But they have Joelinton and stuff, whereas we have actual 3 players that can control the game as well as.
Joelinton's been so off this season.
Yeah, and we have 3 players that are physical, very physical. Even Odegaard, even though he's smaller, very physical, while also being very technically sound. So we'll see, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think honestly I want the lineup you said. I want Palmer to be in the 10, and I want Enzo to be at the 8, because then, brother, that'll be
Yeah,
much.
we're gonna wipe if that's the case.
I
Not
mean,
gonna
that would
lie.
be much better for us physically.
That would be more easier on you guys if
That would be
Palmer's
much.
not on the wing.
That would be, yeah, exactly. Because Palmer goes on the 10 a lot, and also I would trust Zubi Rice to just shadow him and go take care of him the whole game. Whereas if he's on the right, then because our left back is kind of a sus area for us right now, that would be a little bit more threatening and a little bit more scary. But we'll see what happens, man.
I mean-
I don't know. It's a tough game.
The other shout that I'd give is just because we saw it against Charlton. Obviously, it's Charlton, so take it with a grain of salt.
Same
But there
thing
could be
with Kai,
potential that's yeah, there's it could be potential that you have Palmer right wing and Esteval left wing.
Potential, but
If I were you guys, I mean, that would definitely be the better lineup in my opinion. I just don't see Esteval starting for some apparent reason.
I think Neto. Yeah,
I think Neto
starting.
starts over him. Yeah.
Neto starting. I think Neto is gonna.
Yeah.
I think Neto's playing off the left because he's been doing that recently in recent games. Ever since Maresco got sacked, he started playing on the left instead of the right.
Yeah.
And then it'll be Palmer or Esteval in the on the right, and then Palmer or Enzo in the 10. I think either way, your midfield is kind of light with Caicedo out, so I want to capitalize on that. I think if I were to go for a prediction, I'd probably go I think it's gonna be tight. So even if we win, it'll be a 2-1. I don't think we're gonna smoke you guys, obviously. But my heart's telling me a 1-1. Honestly, my heart's telling me we go into this with more of a more real UCL level knockout away performance. We go for a tight game, duels, that type of stuff. and we probably it could be either scores first and the other responds. I think might score first and you guys respond and it goes 1-1 and then kind of the game just killed. I could even see a 0-0. Honestly, I could see a like a game where it's very frustrating for you guys, and we just kind of want to kill the game a little bit and take it to the Emirates.
Yeah, honestly, I think my prediction kind of depends on whether Jokic is starting or not. I'd say
I don't think that should.
no,
be a
no,
big
like
deal.
no, it genuinely does. Okay, but I'm saying I think I was actually gonna go with the 2-1 prediction as well. 2-1, you guys. Probably.
Honestly, even with Gyökeres starting, like the thing is, we played with 10 men this whole season. So like, even if he's starting, okay, good, we're playing with 10 men again. It's okay. Like we've done it the whole game. We've done it the whole season when he starts.
Yeah, you guys are playing 10 men versus 10, bro. They're gonna get red carded too. It's gonna be 10v10.
Facts. Like it is what it is. Like I really don't. Like to me, it's like if Gyökeres starts, if he doesn't start, either way, like if he doesn't start, Jesus is kind of been iffy, but that's because he's coming back to fitness. And if he does start, brother, okay, he might cause some issues for the center backs by being, like WrestleMania, but we'll see.
We'll see.
If I were to give a prediction, I might. I'm gonna back my team. I'm gonna say 2-1. My heart says 1-1.
Yeah, see, so you're on the sleep.
My heart says
Okay, so
1-1.
1-1 is your actual prediction then?
Yeah, 1-1's my actual prediction, but I'm gonna back my team and say it's a 2-1.
What do you think? Do you
If
think
you guys have Nebraska, maybe.
Do you think you guys go to the
No,
final?
I'm still gonna back it nonetheless.
Do you think you
You
guys
never
go to the
know what
final?
happens, but what? Sorry.
I said, do you think you guys actually, go to the final? Do you think you guys actually beat us with knowing that Emirates is second leg?
Depends on what we see on the first leg. Obviously,
Let's just say it's 2-1.
like-
Let's say it's
That's a fair
2-1.
answer. That's a
Let's
fair
say it's
answer.
2-1. Let's say
let's
it's
say
2-1.
let's say like if it's a 2-1, then
No, but I mean that also depends, right? Because if it's like a scrappy 2-1, then but if it's like if it looks very comfortable for them, you never know.
I mean,
It
2-1
depends,
is
right?
never comfortable.
yeah, exactly.
No, you
Let's put
never
it this way: if it's a 1-1, I would say like it's cooked, like you guys win. If it's a 2-1, I'd say it becomes a toss-up.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it will be a draw, and then I think it will be a KG second leg where we either score a corner or like you guys score our own goal from a corner or something like that to blow up the game. And if that doesn't happen, then it could stay KG. But I think the first 135 minutes of this thing will be very cagey. Like I don't think it's gonna be like anyone's gonna batter the team. Yeah, there might be chances, like but I think it'll be very tight.
It'll be very
yeah.
good in my
But I
opinion.
think the
it's gonna be
second,
tough.
Just looking at the matchups alone, man, right? Like
yeah,
it'll be leave tactics aside. If you look at players alone, you could see that it'll be tight no matter what. So
yeah, I think
we'll see.
I-
It's like another like you guys versus Liverpool situation, right? It's like even though stuff might not be in place. No, in the sense of like, remember my prediction? I said even though stuff might not be in place for them, the quality of players they got, obviously not to the same level, but
Yeah,
it's like that will definitely factor in.
I mean,
is what I'm
also
trying
the
to
thing
say.
is with them is like it's just their immaturity a little bit. It's kind of like that's kind of what is always on our side when we play them. It's because like even last time when we played them at Stamford Bridge, obviously Caicedo red, but even if it wasn't Caicedo, I felt it was gonna be someone. Like I don't know if Harshan felt like that, but I felt like the whole game, the way they
It's
were
just a
going
lack of
into
discipline, bro.
the way they're no, but of course, but you obviously like against us, they're always like this. They're on smoke because they want to
I mean,
impose themselves. That's also a derby, but I felt it that whole first half before Caicedo got sent off. I was like, someone in this game is getting sent off. But I had more of a feeling it was going to be them because I don't know, they were just making rash tackles here, there, everywhere.
the one thing I will say though is like when it comes to these big games, like what I've seen out of Chelsea, that they play these games very, very like physical.
Yeah.
Which like we've seen it work in the past. We've seen it work against Barcelona. We've seen it work against PSG. Right. You've seen it work against
Gotta make
Liverpool.
sure it doesn't get too
Like that type of
physical.
thing. Yeah,
also,
exactly. You can't be like
also,
rash and like immature. That type
it's
of
very hard.
thing.
Like I'm kind of basing my prediction and everything off of our last game at Stamford Bridge, but like at the same time, it's very hard to use that because Marasco is a very good big game coach, whereas now he's not there.
Mhm.
And then secondly, we had a starting our starting center backs. It was the first time they ever started together in their
Mhm.
Arsenal career in the Prem. So
Mhm.
it
Right.
is a very, very, even if our backline is a little different with Ben White right back, Timber left back, it is still a very, very different, a different backline with Gabriel and
Mhm.
Saliba, both there, let alone just one of them, both of them being there,
Mhm.
it's going to be very different. So I don't know. I don't, with that, with Chelsea, it's really just Estevao and Palmer that I see as threatening, but with that, it's kind of, if Palmer plays in the 10, then not as much so. If he plays on the right, then
Mhm.
yes. And the same thing with Estevao. He has to play on the right for me to feel he's really threatening. So it's kind of like, as long as he locked on that right wing position, whoever plays there, I think, we should be good.
The one thing I will say though is like they obviously it's Charlton, so everything's taken with a grain of salt. But if like let's say we get the amount of space with like the 10, for example, that we got that game or we were able to create, it might be a different story. But like as you say too, like if Palmer's a 10, he probably gets marked out.
But
I
also,
really want. Mhm.
I was gonna say like also with the double pivot thing, you guys had Caicedo, and Caicedo is like in terms of progression to that 10, Caicedo is probably your best one at it consistently, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like without him, can you guys play that much deeper and trust the inconsistent Enzo when it comes to that, and also Santos who is, young, right? If you
Mhm.
want to put Reece James in there and say he can do that job, he can, but can he do it to the same level as Caicedo, where you can have that double pivot drop deeper
Mhm.
and be closer together? I don't know.
The way I put it is, I think Enzo can do the job. I just don't think that if you play Enzo there, then you're so defensively like weak.
Yeah,
Like I saw,
he's a
like I
very
saw, I
defensive minded,
saw, I
right?
saw, I saw a statistic recently actually that like in the Prem, Enzo's actually like the best like pressure passer or like press passer or like something like that in the league this season. But like the problem when you play Enzo there is that you have basically have a defensive liability in your pivot, right? So I'd say the shout there is not like the progression thing that I'm worried about, but I'm worried if Enzo plays there, defensively will look very shallow,
Yeah,
like
that's
in a
fair.
sense, right?
That's fair enough.
Like I think Enzo under pressure situations when he's pressed, when he has to play out of the press like that type of thing, I think he's very good. But it's once it turns, once he has to play the defensive side of the game, sometimes he's good. It's like sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
He's
That's
the
the
thing is
exact
the thing is that I
exact way to
agree
put
with
it.
you. I agree with you. Like technically he is good, but at the same time, like you're playing against you're playing. He's gonna play directly against Rice that's pressing him,
Yeah.
which is Rice and Zubi, who are very both of them. I don't think people have locked into what Zubi's like how good Zubi is at it, but they're both really
Mm,
good at pinching the ball from like
yeah.
midfielders. So that's what I mean is like if you guys are playing out with them two, I would trust Rice and Zubi to pinch it at least once or twice in the game, especially if it's
Yeah,
as
of
open
course.
as I
But
think it is, which is why I'm playing Martinelli.
mhm, of course, but you never know.
We'll see,
Like
man.
with Enzo, I feel like Enzo's always like a controversial topic to talk about because like this is my view from like watching all his games. Um, he has like so many good elements of these games. Like his chance creation's like good. He's a good passer of the ball. Pressure passing is good. Defensively, but like there's like weaknesses in his game. So like he's slow. He's defensively shallow. Like that type of thing that can be exposed.
Mhm.
Do I think the pinching thing is gonna like be a problem? No, but do I think like let's say Rice gets on the ball, starts progressing it towards Enzo, or like he gets caught out on the wing and like something like that? Do I think that's gonna be a problem? I honestly like yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I think that's the bigger problem that like will be posed to Enzo's in the pivot, not the fact that he be like pitched. You get what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
We'll
these are
see.
predictions, right? We never know how it pan out, especially with
Yeah.
the seniors.
Fact.
So
Like
We'll
the
see.
one thing I'll say is if Enzo becomes a problem, the problem that I probably think will happen is like he has to defend and he's not able to, or he's slow to the ball.
mm,
We'll see,
Okay.
Right.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. it's all predictions, right?
Yep, it's all predictions, sister.
All right. Okay, I think we're good to wrap up this episode then. Anything
We're not
else?
talking
Any
about
final
the
thoughts?
we're not talking about the derby.
Nah, we talked about it, man. Who cares, bro?
We already spoke about it.
We're praying for the
There's nothing
draw,
more to
man.
really
We're
say.
praying for the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not much else to really talk about. I mean, I think I already said everything I had to say. So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
obviously one new addition to Menyo. When we played Bournemouth, he did cause us a bit of problems. Going to be the same type of situation, but both their center
Nah,
backs
don't worry,
being out, I
man.
have a little bit more
No, don't worry,
confidence.
man. We'll lock him up. We'll lock him up.
Yeah, we.
Fair enough.
Okay, I
Alright.
think that's it, guys.
All right.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll see you guys post game after the Manchester
Yeah.
derby.